afternoon. My name is Scott Rudler, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Lab.com, and welcome to today's recap and look ahead.
观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎您收看最新一期的直击美股栏目，我是贝赛宁，现在在纽约向您问好。首先，我们来看一下美股大盘在周四的一个整体走势。那么今天美股是基本收平，三大股指出现了小幅下跌。那么当然，市场关注的一个焦点还是国会众议院有关这个医疗保健法案的这个投票结果。那么截至美股收盘，这份川普所支持的这个医改方案能否通过众议院的这个审批还远未确定。那么美股在本周早些时候就已经遭受了这个今年以来最大的一个卖盘压力。那么原因正是因为投资人对于此次医改方案能否通过而感到相当担忧。那么分析师是普遍认为，如果医改方案不能通过，那么美股将面临很大的一个下行风险，因为这将意味着川普的其他经济刺激措施，比如说像华尔街非常期望能看到的这个税改方案，在实施的时候呢，也会受到很大阻力。那么话虽如此，如果众议院今晚能够通过这份医改方案的话呢，将会对医疗保险板块而言是个很好的开端。尽管目前这个前景依然是不明朗。再来看一下经济数据方面，今早美国公布的这个当周首领失业金人数是增加了1.5万至25.8万人，是7周以来的最高点。那么这点与其他显示这个美国劳动力市场目前表现强劲的这个数字是相背离的。但好在数据同时显示，目前企业仍在以健康的速度在增加人手，而且薪资也出现了逐步上调。那么此外，2月份的这个新屋销售数据是创下了7个月来的最高点，并且比去年2月份是同比增长了12.8%。好，接下来我们看一下交易员今天为我们带来哪些精彩的美股点评。
Well, the markets didn't implode today, even with all the healthcare vote looming over. But are you worried about the very likely downside going forward?
Well, I think the market's in a tricky spot. You know, we've had a very strong tape ever since Trump was elected. Recently, we just saw a bit of a pullback, which broke the accelerated trend. So now we're trying to figure out, was that a small correction or will there be more? So if you turn to the chart of the S&P cash, I'll pretty much show you what I'm talking about. You know, this is when Trump was elected right here. Okay, boom, that's when the market ignited. We were in an accelerated trend this entire time. And then what happened recently? This was broken. So when an accelerated trend breaks, you have to see, does it stay on the right side for continuation to the downside? Because if you look how far this market has come. So nobody wants to be stuck in the market if all of a sudden the downside is bigger. It's only 2% off the highs. So we were talking about a little bit of an oversold move to trade. So that's exactly what happened. Yesterday, we saw a small red dog reversal that guys got long. This is 2,400. This was 2,341. So it made some sense to try and be long, and then boom, you had a little bit of a retest into the moving averages. So when you're above the 8 and 21 day, it's good to be long. That's one of my strategies. When you break it, all of a sudden it becomes resistance. So now we'll see if the 8 and 21 day becomes resistance to the downsides. So I'm not saying it's game over here for the bulls, but first time into what used to be support turned into resistance, and then we'll have to see what happens with healthcare either on Friday or on Monday.
But the markets right now are still very Trump obsessed. So in this narrative, what are the sectors you're watching? Financials or small caps?
Both of them. Because both led the market during the first initial phase when he was elected, and now they actually started stalling before the broader indices. So I was actually on Fast Money last night talking about how I bought the banks or Bank of America for a bounce. Today we had a bit of a bounce, and that was like the easy type of trade, and now we have to figure out, is the bank bigger or was it just a bounce? So let's get into Bank of America, because a lot of you guys on the virtual trade floor bought it with me. So you look here, same thing as the S&P, but a little bit more intensified. This was your accelerated trend. So from down here at 17 to 26, big move, right? So it doesn't, really, put too much damage if you get a small corrective phase. But anyway, we bought yesterday. I did sell some. I'm still in some. This is resistance, which is now curling down. Here you're above the 8 and 21 day, stayed above it, continued. Now you're below it. So you have to be a bit more careful. So I'm watching to see what happens here in the Bank of America, the XLF, the Goldman Sachs, etc. Same thing goes for the small caps. Like you said, small caps basically broke this trend well before. Okay, so now the question is, does this support hold? First time down here, it usually holds. If it starts to get rejected here and turns down, that could be problems for the overall market.
Okay, let's take a look at some company news real fast. First, let's talk Disney because Bob Iger, I think the news is really well received. People like how he's running the company. So, do you think Disney still has good leadership?
I do think it has good leadership, and it's one of the market leaders, so it's good to watch. So, if you want to look at the chart of Disney, I think it responded pretty well, and it's been riding this trend. So, as long as Disney stays above the 8 and 21-day moving average, I think it'll help the market to the upside. If this were to break, that could tell you that even the strongest stocks out there might be due for a corrective phase. And I know there was some news on Amazon also. Same thing in high beta land. A lot of the high beta tech stocks have lost momentum. Look at this trade right here. It went through the highs here and failed. So I would watch Amazon. If Amazon, were to break this spot, you would see some downside in tech. So what we're doing right now is we're looking at the leaders to see if they could hold higher, and we're looking to see some of the sectors that have had a bit of a corrective phase, whether it gets deeper or that was it. And that'll give us clues on whether or not the market has more upside ahead of it or has to go through a little bit more downside before figuring out what's next.
好的，谢谢 Scott 为我们带来的精彩点评，这就是本期的直接美股栏目，感谢您的收看，我是贝赛宁，我们下期节目再见。